Hello and welcome back to another video with Luca. We're going to be talking League 2 today and ranking the 10 best fan bases home and away in the 4th tier. So if you start with number 10.
Number 10, we've decided is Newport County. For team in Wales, they've got a good attendance at home. It's not the best, I mean, put average around 3,000 to 4,000, but their away fans also, they travel well, especially to the teams closest to them, and they always have a good atmosphere, and so nice ground to go to, especially when your team pick up the points. Nice atmosphere around the ground, and when Newport score, you will hear about it.
Yeah, I remember them bringing a lot of fans to Swindon over the years, making lots of noise, especially when they beat us, but even when they haven't. I think the Welsh are just quite friendly, so they're always nice to play.
Yeah, nice away game as well. I've been there a few times. You've been there?
No, never been to Newport.
No, good away day. When we won, 2 seasons ago. Jack Payne scored 2-1. So that was a good game. But yeah, should we quickly move on to number 9?
Yeah, right. Number 9 is Walsall in the Midlands, just outside of Birmingham. They've got a nice stadium. They've got a big stand behind the goal. They have struggled with issues off the pitch, so maybe that's reflected in their attendances. But they travel well, they make noise, which is good. And you know, no matter how bad things get, they're always going to have that loyal contingent at Walsall that will be with them no matter what.
Also, as you said, being in the Midlands, there's a few teams you can support around there. So West Brom, Wolves, Villa. I mean, to them loyal fans to be there it shows they got good support, and also it's a good ground as well around the motorway and stuff like that. You can always sit the big stand, and as both Swindon fans, we've experienced some good away wins there as well, especially that 3-0 victory, which you also went to.
Yeah.
In 8th, we've gone with Gillingham, teaming around Kent. They bring a few away fans, not the most, but they're always quite loud, and at home as well they've also got a good atmosphere, I think, and not the best. They haven't scored too many goals this season, and obviously Neil Harris getting sacked, but they have scored a few last minute winners, and the atmosphere there, we're seeing the fans run down, so they're over the players, is why they're so high in this list.
Yeah, Gillingham are pretty good at home. They always have fans there. They always seem to be at the top end of the table or the bottom, so it's always entertaining for them. And we've seen them, they're a bit of a rivalry with Swindon from dating back, so it's always tasty when we go there or they come to the county ground, so that's probably affected why they put them higher than some. But yeah, Gillingham, decent fan base. Not much more to say. I think next on the list is Mansfield.
Yeah, Mansfield, yeah.
So that's up Nottingham way. They've got, similar to Walsall, a lot of clubs in and around them, obviously Nottingham, Forest, Notts County, Doncaster, all around that sort of area. So a lot of competition, but they play good stuff. They've got decent, similar to Swindon, decent home following. They average a pretty good amount, probably 3rd or 4th highest average attendance at home in the division. They travel well. They're always, with Mansfield, they're always spending money. There's always something for the fans to be excited about. So that probably affects why they're
yeah. I mean, they're always, you said, buying some players, and they're always near around the top, but they never seem to get up. Especially when we've been struggling in League 2 for a while now. We've always had them, and there's also been, it's not a rivalry, but we've also both been two good teams in that division, and you know that we're going to have a good game. We've had some good encounters in the past, and they always bring a few fans, about 600 all the way down to Swindon, which is far from Mansfield, so it just shows that they have a good attendance, and at home, as you said, they've had some great home wins in the EFL Cup this season, especially against Peterborough. So yeah, and next we'll move on to 6th, and that is Stockport County, around Manchester. Again, got a few teams around there, but especially at home, they have excellent home following, and that was seen when they beat Salford last season on penalties in the playoff semi-final. So what do you think about Stockport then?
Stockport, yeah, as you said, up near Manchester. They got good away fans. I know they've travelled quite well. They got a decent sized stadium at home. They were always, when they were in the National League, too big for that division.
Yeah, definitely.
So they're back where they should be, maybe even a bit higher. They should be. But yeah, they've got good fans. home and away, not really much more to say.
No, I mean, as well, they're obviously financially backed as well, so that also helps the fans come as well, knowing you're going to have a good style player and a good team. But yeah, doing around the top of the league at the moment, so see what leads for them.
Next in 5th place, we've got Grimsby. Might be a shock to some because they are, a smaller club, probably League 2, National League sort of size club, but they travel really well. I've always been impressed with the amount of away fans they bring, especially to Swindon, which is quite far from obviously Grimsby up north. They travel really well everywhere they go, make lots of noise. I remember them at Chelsea in the FA Cup, was it? It might have been last year or the year before. Excellent, thousands upon thousands of supporters there. So yeah, nothing but good things to say about Grimsby. They could probably even be higher if it wasn't for some of the other clubs on the list.
Yeah, I remember, I think the season we got promoted with Wellens, was it? 1920. They came to us beaten 3-1, but we were 3-0 up at half time, and they never stopped singing. That was when they had Ian Holloway as manager, and the club there, they just had some excellent fans. And I just from then on, I've just really had a soft spot for Grimsby, for their fans and how loyal they are to the club. And after that run, they went down the following season, so they've been in the National League, and then last season got back up to the league, and then also had a great FA Cup run, going away to Southampton and Brighton, bringing loads of fans. But we'll move on to 4th place, and that's another team that have just got promoted, Notts County. Another good attendance, a very good home attendance, and a great ground as well. But they also travel away, and I mean, funnily enough, Swindon did send them down when they got relegated in the 2018-19 season, where I was there, and they scored first, and they had a great. Obviously, loads of fans came to see if they could stay up. Unfortunately, they didn't for them, but they still have a great attendance, home and away, and a good atmosphere. Would you say, Dan?
Yeah. When Notts came to Swindon, they had the Stratton Bank, so that's always a sign of good fan base, especially coming from so far up north. When they're selling out their initial allocation. There's not, in the years recently, I can only think of like Plymouth, maybe, and Exeter, local clubs that have done that. So for Notts to do that, I know it was a big day, but that just shows how incredible their fan base is. Their stadium's lovely. It wasn't long ago that Swindon were there and got beat. Yeah. They've got a brilliant home stadium. They've got solid home support. They're lower than they should be in the terms of football club size. They're oldest EFL club?
Yeah, oldest EFL club, yeah.
Well supported over the years, and I think they can be happy with 4th place on the list.
Yeah, definitely.
So 3rd, with the newly promoted theme continuing, is Wrexham. First time they've been in League 2 for a while.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think whether you can say sort of their support and fan base has grown ever since the investment from America, that's one thing. But you can't deny they're selling out most weeks at home.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of home fans, lots of noise. We're yet to see them come to the county ground, but I know they've travelled well to other places in the country. But yeah, I think they've come up and they're really stamping their authority and showing what their Wrexham fans are about.
Yeah, just saying, like, especially with obviously Ryan Reynolds and Rob McKinley in the club, they've got supporters from all around the globe, but still their home attendance, especially in the National League when they got up and that game against Notts County, they had great attendance. They've got, especially when their stadium stands getting redone, that everyone's all packed into only 3 stands, and it makes an even more loud atmosphere. It'll be interesting to see when they do come to the county ground, of course. They have us on Boxing Day, so it should be a good game, especially if both teams are on the top, which we hope they should be. And talking of Swindon, we've put ourselves number 2.
Modestly.
Yeah, modestly second. I mean, we do have a good away following, and we do have a good home, about 9,000, 10,000 each game, and we do sit where we got a good in the town end. They sing all the game, and yeah, so away fans is something that is something that we're particularly good on, especially considering there's not too many, especially with the teams going up, there's not too many teams around us anymore, but we still tend to bring an average of about 800 up north, and bring the closest ones get about 2,000, 3,000, bring 3,000 to Walsall, and we're going to MK Dons in a few weeks. We've already sold about 1,500, and we could even sell more. So
yeah, I think we're up there. I think over the years there's not been too much for Swindon fans to get excited about. We've had obviously the promotions, but to be getting 9,000, 10,000 average support when you're in League Two, fighting in and around the playoffs, even mid-table last year we were still getting 8,000 when we were comfortably mid-table. I think that's pretty impressive considering some of the other attendances in the division. Obviously, as you said, the away fans are pretty good. We've seen some crazy followings like that Walsall game, down to Plymouth. We brought a lot of fans, so they are good, especially when things aren't going well. But when Swindon are doing well, it's even better. I think of the county ground, practically sold out against Exeter in the league a few years back. Town End packed. I know when we were under Garner and doing well, when City came to Swindon, sold out again. So the fact that we can do that is pretty good.
Yeah, that's definitely about the attendance. Yeah, that Exeter game, about 13,000 at a county ground in League 2 level is outstanding numbers. But we'll move on to number 1 and talk about outstanding numbers. It was, of course, probably what everyone's expecting, Bradford. They should be nowhere near this level, should be about a championship, mid-table championship club, even higher, quite possibly. They had 26,000 at home in some games. That is a huge attendance. Good away following no matter where they go. Some loyal fans who stick by the club. There's not many teams straight around there that no one else will support. So Bradford has got a massive contingent and a huge fan base. And they're a big club. They had just had Mark Hughes as manager, but he obviously swiftly moved on there, starting to improve their form. But they're just a big club, and they, as I said, shouldn't be around this level.
Yeah, the fact that they've been stuck in League 2 for a while now, it must have been years, and they're still getting the levels of home support that they're getting is phenomenal. I don't think there's many other clubs that would stick, and many other groups of supporters that would stick with their club like they have. So you've got to say hats off, and obviously they travel really well. They have got competition up there. They've got Leeds not too far, big, massive side. So there's not really much to be said about Bradford. I think they pretty much far and away are the best supporters in the league.